So welcome everybody. Welcome to the first webinar heading to the next School of Vision Masterclass in Rome that will be held in the end of April this year. We are very happy to have you again here on stage to tell you about a little bit more about the School of Vision and what's all of this program and all of this research center that we established here in Rome. It's about. Hello, everyone. Hello, Valeria. Please feel free to write in the chat to ask as many questions as you want. It's an open space, really, to get to know each other a little bit more and to have some insight about visionary thinking and about what the masterclass is about. So I think we will take a few minutes to wait everybody to join and to get connected. Hello, Loretta. Nice to meet you. Where are you from? Where are you writing from? We are very happy to host you here. It's a great pleasure for us to have those webinars. There will be a few more before the starting of the masterclass because we believe it's a good way to get to know more what's the research center, the School of Vision is about, and what's the masterclass is waiting for you. From Germany. Happy to have you here. So in the last masterclass in Rome, we had more or less around 11 different nationality that join us in the masterclass. It's a very precious moment to get to know people which are really aligned on a same moment of their journey, of our life, needing somehow to looking for some kind of upscale of their life, of their career, looking a way to complete a transition, to find the energy to start a new venture. And I hope today we will be able to really get into the visionary thinking theory. It will be really a brief introduction, but our hope is that you can be engaged with whatever is about that we will discuss during the masterclass, and we will also tell you a bit more about the detail of the program, and so you can see if the program is what is fitting for you, or if you are more in a phase that you are exploring and want to have a look about. The good thing is that the School of Vision Research Center is continuously developing content. We have a Substack account, and every Sunday we publish one chapter of the book, which is the School of Vision manual, how to design a vision, how to embrace and build up a vision within yourself. And then we have the Vision of Rome, which is an interview series about the protagonists that are shaping the future of Rome, both from a cultural, real estate, industrial point of view. And it's also this is delivered on the website, on the newsletter, and you can find everything on our social. So feel free to join the School of Vision community, and if you think that you need a little step ahead, if you need something more, some more spice in your life in order to accelerate, that's why we designed the masterclass for. So I think we can start, and I would love to share with you a brief presentation about what the School of Vision is about, especially what the vision is about. And and especially the main question is that we will try to figure it out today in our half an hour webinar, is why we need a vision. But before going deeper into the topic, I would like you to show briefly what happened in the last edition of the Masterclass in Rome that was held during October. And it was a 4 days masterclass, same program, same structure, what we will see in April for the next event. And please have a look about it. So this was a really brief introduction about the masterclass we had last year in October, and we will see at the end of the webinar a bit more of what's waiting for us in the new edition in April. So what we will try to figure it out tonight together is how to design a vision and why a vision is needed in this epoch. As I already say, please feel free to comment, to make question, to ask whatever you need in the chat. Is an open place. To really trying to understand if this is fitting for you, and if you have any kind of doubt, please feel free. Me and the team will try to answer either live or via the chat. So first of all, I wanted to open this discussion with paradox, which is the idea that the future is a memory. Of course, it seems like a contradiction. The future is something that is heading in front of us. Future is something that is not within our scope. So how is it possible that future is a memory? Well, the fact is that reality is that whatever we understand as future is whatever our mind is thinking about, whatever our mind is imagining about what's next, and whatever our mind is able to project into our imagination for what's coming next. Then, of course, something will come in the next moment that we can call the future. But in any singular moment that we are living in our life, whatever we relate with the future is some kind of expectation, some kind of fear, some kind of desire, which is based and rooted in our mind, and therefore it's only wired on our brain and on our capacity to elaborate any information we have inside our mind, and therefore is made up of little bricks, which is our memory, which is our experience that we had. So the reality is that however we are thinking, however we are designing our future, the major task for us today is to really have a deeper understanding of how our mind function in the present, and how our mind interpret the past, and how we can actually design a new future within our mind in order to actually put in motion some kind of effect that eventually can become a future present moment desirable, that we can call it future. Of course, doing this is very, very hard, because we as a individual and as a community, we are very much under a huge pressure in this time. All of you knows about, I'm sure, all of this challenge that we are living in. Of course, technology is a huge challenge, artificial intelligence, information overload, all the social challenge we are living in, the different global narrative, the individual identity crisis. There are many challenges that are really shaking the status quo, shaking the way we were used to understand, we were used to deal with our ability to deal with the present, our ability to frame our idea of the future, and to understand how to tackle the challenges that are coming ahead. So the question is, how are we able to shape in our mind a desirable future? How are we able to reconcile a past which sometimes is very traumatic, which sometimes is very putting pressure on our mind and is not letting us to live in the present and the future in a way that is constructive, and how all of this can happen in the time where we don't have a freedom of space in our mind, because we are always attacked by external pressure, always attacked by challenge that the society and the community around us is bringing to our mind, which needs somehow to be protected in order to being able to develop a positive idea of the future, in order to rearrange the memory that we have to design a vision, which is what we need in order to build something that is desirable in the future. So really going at the end of the entire story. So if you want to skip the masterclass, if you want to know what's the secret, what's the key of visionary thinking, well, you just need this slide, is whatever you need, because the vision is the ability to match what's the in understanding of the external world and to express our internal world. When these two huge challenge are able to come together, when we are able to understand how the external world is evolving, how the society is taking new shape in every moment, how the market, how our community, how the global scene is constantly evolving and constantly changing, and our ability to understand and to being able to adapt to the external world. Well, this is one part of building a vision. If you are able to do only this part, you are a perfect employee, you are maybe a perfect entrepreneur, being able to answer to the market. The market is asking some very specific service. You understand the market, you understand the society, you understand the world, and you might become, you might eventually be a perfect actor of the society which is around you. But not always, as I guess all of you know, if you are interested and if you were attracted by this webinar, you know that this is not enough to be satisfied. This is not enough to actually find a place in the world to fulfill your place in the society, to actually being able to respond and give an answer to what the market, what society is asking you from outside. The other very fundamental part is to develop, express an internal world. And this is the major challenge for some of us, because some of us are very good at fitting into the society. Some of us are very good into understanding what's happening inside. Well, the visionary is the one who is able to being and live the two sides together, is able to express, give a language, understand, find a code for the internal world, being able to put the internal world into the world in a way that is comprehensible and useful for the world. On the other side, understanding that whatever he has to offer to is needed to the world outside. So really, this is for those of you who just connect. We are getting into a very, very brief introduction of what's the vision School of Vision theory is about, and we will have few minutes to explore the visionary thinking, which of course it will be much more expanded in all the research center material that you can find on the website, and of course in the masterclass that will be held in April. And now we are really in the main focus part of the visionary thinking, as I say, a bit as a joke, a bit as a reality. If you want to skip everything, you want to just impress one idea in your mind, this is what you have to remember. This is the secret, this is the key. And the ability of visionary thinking is to bring your internal world, to develop it, to understand it, to express it, and let him to get in touch and interact with the external world. Those two are two different challenges happening that needs to happen simultaneously and constantly dealing one with each other. So how we do it, because that's the point. Okay, it's fine to know the key, it's fine to understand that what's the secret is about, but how we do it. Here at Spazio Taverna, which is the curatorial studio that I founded with Ludovico Pratesi in 2020, we were born working especially with contemporary artists. And that's why we came up with this idea of the School of Vision, because our work was about contamination between contemporary artists and other kind of field which are very far from contemporary mind, as example science, as example industry, or archaeology. So every kind of field which are not directly linked to art, contemporary art. And what we discover during time is that all the visionary mind have some kind of particular ability in common. And if we have to take the mind of the perfect visionary, the prototype of the visionary, those which have all-in-one, the Leonardo da Vinci of our epoch, we can find that each one of this ability is built into the visionary mind. We started with the contemporary artists because artists are by definition visionary, because they don't need to produce some kind of functional object or some kind of functional service of our product to the society. So therefore, their only task in life is to develop vision within their work. And of course, vision can also be applied vision, as we can see in the entrepreneurship, we can see in the science industry, we can see in any kind of human development and human side of the civilization. But being able to study the mind of the artist, we were able to codify what the visionary mind is about. So what we can say is that the visionary mind is able to do few things, but in a very, very precise way. So it's all about storytelling, it's about attention, it's about the ability to create symbol and create narrative to reality, it's about identity, which all of those that we discuss is about. But then it's also about understanding, as we say, the external world. So the sense making, future thinking, understanding where the world is going, reading the weak signals that is coming in reality, decision making for sure, innovate, being able to develop, to being able to manage complexity, and of course also things which are more intimate, like emotion management. You cannot be a visionary if you're not able to express, to develop, to deal with your emotion aspect within yourself. And then, of course, transformation of reality, because at the end of the day, you are a visionary if you are able to develop what's within yourself and to put it out into the world in whatever form, whatever product, whatever package, whatever thing you think it's valuable, and whatever you put outside needs to transform the world around you, needs to transform. It doesn't have to transform globally the entire universe, but either you're a small community, your nation, your team, or your whatever word it's meaningful for you. There are visionary at every scale, but those are the people which are really able to develop some kind of intelligence within themselves that are radically able to transform their reality outside. So going from the visionary mind to the visionary thinking, which is the core of the course, and we are getting closer to what is going to happen into the masterclass, because within the masterclass we will go deeper scientifically, looking for theory, looking for all the different aspect of what we call the visionary thinking, which can be summarized in 5 different way of thinking. We, of course, not all of you have, not any of us have the 5 thinking within ourselves all in one, but even being able to develop one of these, and we know that some visionary have specifically one symbolic thinking, some other have specific systemic thinking. So those 5 intelligence altogether are really able to develop what we call the visionary mind. And we will try during the course, during the masterclass, to explore and to give you a tool and give you the access code for your inner world in order to actually enhance and being able to explore the different visionary intelligence that that once are collected together, they can really being able to spark within yourself a visionary idea, visionary way of being, because you don't happen to be a visionary one day. You develop a kind of a discipline with yourself, which eventually will produce outside behavior that can be recognized as visionary by the others. So getting closer to the masterclass, of course, this is just a very brief introduction of what we will see and what we will discuss in Rome. And the masterclass is the second edition. Will happen from the 16th to the 19th of April, and it's going to be 4 days where we will actually explore many different way of looking at the visionary thinking. We will discuss the 5 visionary intelligence from many different point of view, but practically we will have some theory in class, and where we will have expert joining us to actually giving insight on how the visionary thinking is working practically on the ground with geopolitics, with architecture, with urbanistic, with industrial venture. So we will hear from the people which are actually shaping the future. We will have some kind of visiting inside the special place in Rome, and where we want to make a statement on why we decide to choose Rome as our headquarters and as the place for the masterclass, the initial masterclass of this program, because the Rome edition is the first masterclass. Then for those who attend to the Rome edition, we will provide the future edition for the community, for those who are part and have been part of the first edition together in other city. But the idea is that Rome is, of course, an ancient city, is known for being a city of the past, but it's also a city that was able to design itself for lasting, for sustainability, for lasting more than 2,000 years, and that's something very, very special. It's something that every kind of empire, every kind of city, every kind of venture is always facing with. How do we last? How can we be sustainable, not only in an energetic way, talking about the renewable, but also talking about duration? How can we last in time? And Rome, of course, is the major example in the Western society about how about this challenge. And also, probably not all of you knows about the fact that Rome nowadays is hosting a very contemporary venture on fashion side, on industrial side, on infrastructure. So we will trying to explore also this side of the city and learning from the past how the past can really be a playground for developing a vision of the future. As we say, the future is always a memory. So we need to really understand what the past is about, generally with our society, with our culture, but also individually, because based on our past, we can really shape and design the future. And then the last reason why we choose Rome, because Rome is also a city of power, a city of the church, the city of the empire. Is the capital of Italy, and we are not necessarily interested in power, but we are interested in the ability to change, to transform, to have the strength to create a change in the world that we want to see, and that we are hoping for. So just a brief. We will send you the deck at the end of our webinar, but this is what happened in the last edition, and it's just a brief detail of any kind of activities that we had during the 4 days. So basically, the first day is about analyzing the present, so trying to understand how the exact moment we are living in is working, and we had in the morning class theory, and then in the afternoon in-city experience. And every day is always have also a moment of community building and networking between the people who are joining the masterclass, with a cocktail, with dinner, with lunch. Is always a moment also to build up people where you feel you can belong to. So let me give you my experience of what happened in the last edition. I'm really happy because we had around 15 different participants. We always try to keep it very, very small, a cohort of no more than 15, 20 people, because it's very important that the people can know each other very well, that people can interact, and people can have the time and the freedom to ask and to really go deeply in what they need. And those people are today, after 6 months, still planning and designing a project together, still talking, still keeping a WhatsApp group active and meeting each other, one in the city of the other. this is, I have to say, for us is the most important side effect of this masterclass, because beside the theory, beside whatever you get, you really encounter people that are in a same moment of life, coming from different background, can be artistic, can be entrepreneur, can be eventually science, can be any kind of different field. We don't select people based on the field, because we select people based on the challenge they are living in this moment. And yes, exactly, Avigal. Building strong foundation for collaboration. That's our hope, because what we understood is that there are many people in this moment in history that are understanding that the world is shifting drastically, and probably the old way of understanding, the old code, the old way of making sense of what's going on is disappearing. So the main challenge now is to understand what's the new code is, and probably understanding that the new code is mainly within ourselves. It's not about being fitting, to the system, which of course is going to change, and many opportunity will arise, and a lot of space will happen. Yes, we agree completely. Connecting people across discipline is exactly the basic structure for innovation. And I have to say, we can be a witness of what happened in the last masterclass. But we believe that actually the people, this is very innovation arrive when you find people which are very motivated in a one direction, which is about finding a way to express themselves in a more authentic way, but on the other side, being able also to understand the world which is outside. Because when you go to the two extreme of this world, either you become someone who is outside society, which is completely in their own mind, and eventually becoming crazy and not being able to talk with the world anymore because it's too much within the internal world. Or in the other side, you find the perfect employee, the perfect machine, which is becoming basically a robot. I know that each one of you have some friends which they can identify like this prototype. And of course, I understand it's a way to cope with the challenge of life, but taking the courage to take a step ahead and understanding that you don't have to suffocate what's within you, and you don't have to ignore what's outside yourself, and you can find a balance within the two. It's really for us, and I hope you will agree once you join the masterclass, the key and the way to deal with the challenges that are coming ahead. So briefly to conclude, before leaving you for any kind of question, please, if you already have, write on the chat. We will try to answer to all of them. I want to tell you about the 3 more days in what will be the 2026 edition. The second day usually is a day where we think about the past, we think about still within class theory, and we encounter talking with people which are dealing with the history of Rome, talking with people which are dealing on how to transform, how to redesign a city, and talking with people which are actually in, understanding history in a geopolitical way to find a way to look into the future. And then usually in the evening we have a dinner in an artist atelier, in which is a very nice moment to relax and to get to know each other better, and but also to get into the artistic mind that, as we say, we believe is the prototype of the visionary. Then the third day is a more relaxed day. We have a morning grand tour of Rome, walking around the city, talking about all the contemporary event, all the contemporary installation, and all the most important transformation in the city is going on, and understanding how the city was built by the visionary of the past. And then the afternoon is a free exploration day. Last morning a session, and the fourth day is the synthesis, getting to finding your own vision, to shaping how you actually you want to start the Monday after, and how you want to really encapsulate whatever we have discussed. And all of those 4 days they will have a part of theory, a part of let's say more expert encounter, a part of in-city experience. So going around the city, we will bring you around all together to explore different aspect of the contemporary side of Rome, and a part of challenge, which is basically the most important part of the entire program, because it's in the 4 day you will be asked in a very intense way to answer to different kind of challenge, which will involve your emotional part, your rational part, your ability to envision your future, to understand your past, really getting your hands on something very practical. And on the day after the end of the masterclass, you will eventually have kind of a master plan on how to shape your next 6 months. So that's our hope. For today is everything. I'm reading the comment. I'm very interested in getting involved as a student. Accessibility to the masterclass is limiting. Is there any other way to get involved? So we talking about the involvement. We have different kind of way to apply. As we say, we want to have an heterogeneous crowd. So we have the normal, let's say, access ticket, which is for everybody in any moment of their life, whoever want to join, whoever want to spend some 4 days in Rome with the full experience, and also with a personal approach on their vision. So those are for visionary which are really in the place of wanting to be more practical and more defined and more vertical with their vision. So we will have one personal encounter with me and with the team before the masterclass, and at the end of the masterclass, one-on-one online. So you can come prepare, and it's not just a general approach to visionary thinking, but it's something very tailored on your scope. Then we have a under 35 scholarship, which is a special prize, because as we know that student or people which are starting their vision, their journey, maybe might need a little incentive to join. And there is a very, very important price reduction for under 35. And then we have a fellowship which can cover either a full price or a reduction of the price based on the limited spot and based on the application. So for whoever is in the place of their life which think that this is needed for you to make that change you are waiting for, but you don't have the availability right now to engage in this in the price, we have the fellowship which eventually can cover all the cost. So I hope that I answer your question. I think our time is ended for today. If you have any other question, any other curiosity, please feel free. We have a few more minutes to answer any question. Otherwise, you can at any time text and talk with Alice, which I know you are in contact with, and which is sending you all the newsletter in the email, and she is the touching point for everything you need, either practical information, either more based on the program, or if you are curious about the theory, or if you want to give us some suggestion on direction that might be interested for you for the research center, feel free to touch and to get in touch with us. Thank you very much, and have a good evening. I really hope to see you in Rome in this April. Feel free to go on the website and apply to the one scholarship, either under 35 or full ticket that you think is fitting for you in this time of your life. Or if you have any curiosity or a question, feel free to reach us. Thank you very much, and good evening.